Imagine a group of warrior monks whose very existence was forged in the fires of the Crusades. They were sworn to poverty, chastity, and obedience, yet wielded immense power across Europe and the Holy Land. Clad in white mantles, adorned with a crimson cross, they fought to protect pilgrims, safeguard sacred sites, and spread the influence of Christendom across continents. For nearly 200 years, they were both feared and revered, living legends of their time. They were the Knights Templar. But what made them so great? How did they transform from a humble brotherhood of pious knights into one of the most powerful, enigmatic, and ultimately tragic orders in history? Today, we'll explore their rise, their power, their secrets, and their ultimate downfall in a journey through one of the most fascinating stories of the medieval world. It all began in 1119, in the shadow of the First Crusade, when the Holy Land was under Christian control, but still perilous for those who sought to visit. Pilgrims traveled in fear, subject to attacks by bandits and hostile forces as they journeyed to Jerusalem. Amidst this danger, a small band of knights, led by Hugues de Payens, took a solemn vow to defend these pilgrims with their lives. These men, bound by their oath, had nothing to offer but their swords and their faith. They called themselves the poor fellow soldiers of Christ and of the Temple of Solomon, later known simply as the Knights Templar. In those early years, their numbers were small, their means humble. They lived as monks and warriors, without wealth or possessions. Their quarters were within the sacred Temple Mount in Jerusalem, and their mission was clear: protect the Holy Land and those who traveled through it. Yet, what started as a small group of devoted men would soon grow into one of the most formidable forces the medieval world had ever known. The Templars gained momentum when Bernard of Clairvaux, a powerful and influential Cistercian abbot, became their advocate. At the Council of Troyes in 1129, the Templars received official recognition from the Catholic Church, gaining papal support, and a rule of life that blended the strict codes of monasticism with the militaristic life of knights. This newfound legitimacy and backing from the Church set the stage for the Templars to rise to prominence. With the blessing of the Church, the Templars rapidly expanded. They established a vast network of fortresses throughout the Holy Land, becoming an essential military force in the Crusades. Their courage in battle was legendary. Unlike typical soldiers, the Templars fought with the single-minded belief that their cause was divinely ordained. They were the first to charge into battle, fearless in the face of death. For to die in service of God was the ultimate sacrifice. Their discipline, skill, and fearlessness made them the elite warriors of their time. But the Templars' power extended far beyond the battlefield. Over the decades, they grew into something much larger than just a military order. They amassed immense wealth through donations from kings, nobles, and pilgrims who believed in their holy cause. Land, castles, and treasures were bestowed upon them in gratitude for their service. But the Templars were not content with just accumulating wealth. They became pioneers in early banking. At a time when travel was dangerous and money was vulnerable to theft, the Templars created a system that allowed pilgrims and merchants to deposit funds in one place and withdraw them in another, essentially creating the first form of international banking. This financial network stretched across Europe and the Holy Land, making the Templars not only warriors, but also the bankers of kings. Their power grew to such heights that they became a state within a state, answering only to the Pope himself. On the front lines of the Crusades, the Knights Templar cemented their reputation as unmatched warriors. Their presence on the battlefield struck fear into their enemies and inspired hope in the Christian forces. Time and again, they led the charge in battles that shaped the destiny of the Crusader states. From the siege of Ascalon to the legendary Battle of Montgassard, the Templars proved themselves to be the hammer of Christendom, smashing through enemy lines with unwavering resolve. But their most famous and most devastating moment came in 1187 at the Battle of Hattin. Facing the forces of the great Muslim leader Saladin, The Templars and their allies were surrounded and vastly outnumbered. Despite fighting with their characteristic ferocity, the Christian forces were overwhelmed. The defeat at Hattin was catastrophic, leading to the loss of Jerusalem and much of the Holy Land. Many Templars were captured and executed, their famed Red Cross marking them as enemies of Islam. Yet even in the face of such loss, the Templars did not falter. They regrouped, continuing to defend the remaining Crusader states for decades to come. Though the tide of the Crusades was turning against the Christians, the Templars fought on, determined to hold their ground in the land they had sworn to protect. Their bravery and commitment in the face of overwhelming odds earned them a place in history as some of the greatest warriors of the medieval age. As the Templars' power and influence grew, so did the legends surrounding them. Their wealth and secretive nature fueled speculation and rumors that have persisted for centuries. The Templars were said to possess incredible treasures, including the Holy Grail, the Ark of the Covenant, and relics of the Crucifixion. Some believe they had uncovered ancient wisdom, passed down from the time of Solomon himself, and that they held knowledge that could challenge the very authority of the Church. Their secretive initiation rites added to the air of mystery. What were the Templars truly doing behind closed doors? Whispers of strange rituals, blasphemous practices, and hidden agendas began to circulate. These rumors of heresy and occult practices would later become a weapon used against them, but in their prime, it only added to their aura of untouchable power and divine mystery. The Templars had become more than a military order. They were a symbol of something greater, something unknowable. Whether they truly possessed the Holy Grail or not, their influence and independence made them untouchable, even by kings. In the early 14th century, the Templars' fortunes took a dark turn. King Philip IV of France, deeply indebted to the order and threatened by their immense wealth and power, sought to bring them down. On Friday, October 13th, 1307, under secret orders from the king, hundreds of Templars across France were arrested in a coordinated strike. The charges? Heresy, blasphemy, and other heinous crimes. The trials that followed were brutal. Under torture, many Templars confessed to the fabricated charges, though most later recanted. But the damage was done. The Templars were disbanded by papal decree, their lands and wealth seized, and many of their leaders were executed. The most famous of these was the Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, who was burned at the stake in 1314, famously cursing both King Philip and Pope Clement V as he died. The fall of the Templars was as swift and dramatic as their rise. In less than 2 decades, an order that had once been the most powerful in Christendom was wiped out, but their legacy would live on in legend and myth. Though the Templars were destroyed, their legend only grew. Over the centuries, they have become icons of mystery and intrigue, subjects of countless theories, books, and films. The lost treasures of the Templars, their secret knowledge, and their role in history have continued to captivate the imagination of historians and conspiracy theorists alike. But beyond the myths, the real legacy of the Templars is far-reaching. Their innovations in banking laid the groundwork for modern financial systems. Their military tactics influenced the way wars were fought, and their unwavering dedication to their cause, even in the face of destruction, has inspired countless generations. Today, the Templars are remembered not just for their swords and shields, but for their enduring impact on the world. Their rise and fall are a cautionary tale of the dangers of power, the unpredictability of politics, and the enduring allure of mystery. The greatness of the Knights Templar lies not just in their deeds, but in the legacy they left behind, a legacy that continues to resonate throughout history. The story of the Knights Templar is one of devotion, valor, mystery, and betrayal. They were a brotherhood forged in faith and war, and their rise to power remains one of the most extraordinary tales in medieval history. From humble beginnings as protectors of pilgrims, they became a force that shaped the destiny of nations. Yet, their dramatic fall serves as a stark reminder that even the greatest, powers can be undone by greed, fear, and the shifting tides of history. But the Templars were more than just warriors. They were visionaries who left a lasting mark on the world. Their courage in battle, their innovations in finance, and the mystery surrounding their order ensure that the legend of the Knights Templar will never fade. 7 centuries after their fall, they continue to inspire awe, curiosity, and reverence. Their story is not just a chapter in the history of the Crusades. It is a testament to the enduring power of myth and the human desire to seek out the secrets of the past. The Knights Templar may have been destroyed, but their legacy lives on, immortalized in history, legend, and the imagination of all who seek to understand the true meaning of greatness.